Hey, and welcome back to Lord
Good evening and welcome.
I am super happy to have you here today. So come on in, and get in where you fit in, because I've always got room right around my table for you, your friends, and your frenemies. So go ahead, like, share, start a watch party, run and tell somebody that Lotus Roche Ignites is hot on the box. I'm going to encourage you, grab your notebook and grab your pen, because I always say note takers are money makers and note takers are change makers. Hey, and welcome back to the Lotus Roche Ignite Show. I am super happy to have you here today. So come on in, and get in where you fit in, because I've always got room right around my table for you, your friends, and your frenemies. So go ahead, like, share, start a watch party, run and tell somebody that Lotus Roche Ignites is hot on the box. I'm going to encourage you, grab your notebook and grab your pen, because I always say note takers are money makers and note takers are change makers. All right. Hey, ho, hey, everybody. How you doing? And welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. And listen, this is your girl, Lotus Roche. It is time to ignite and take flight in every area of your life, and especially breaking the chains of financial lack. And I have a phenomenal guest with us. She's going to come up to the stage shortly, and she's going to talk to us about how to break the chains of financial lack. Because after all, who wants to be broke? I know I don't want to be broke. And if you don't want to be broke, go ahead and put in number 2 in the comment block below. And so, like I said, nobody wants to be broke. So I don't want to be broke. You don't want to be broke. I know that I've got a very great show for you tonight. But before we get started, I want to share a little something with you from a friend of mine that's getting all tapped in. Check this out. We'll be right back. Are you ready for 2021 takeover? Tantrum Prize, which the Networking Ninja launches the first exclusive edition of her magazine. Tap in. She is changing the networking space all over the planet. Meet the powerful ladies taking over 2021. Hey! Get tapped in with the Networking Ninja. That's right. And be one of the ladies to watch in 2021. Make sure you get your exclusive copy coming in April 2021. Get yours tapped in and tap into the power of the Sisterhood Network. If you're an entrepreneur and you are ready to live in 2021, well, come on and get with the visibility strategy yourself. CEO where people need people. Phenomenal Tracy Oriyomi as she presents entrepreneurs living the dream 2021. It's an online event that you don't want to miss. There will be several opportunities for public speakers. Public TEDx speakers. You heard it right. Public TEDx speakers. Starting on February 2021, June 24th, 2021, October 2021, April 22nd, 2021, and August 26th, 2021. You don't want to miss it. Where unity and service, where people. It's time for you to start bossing in social media. For all your social media needs, you come to the right place at the right time to get your website designed, landing page, social media platforms, and get the training you need to get in front of the people that's ready to buy your products and services. Let me train you with StreamYard, Zoom, Clubhouse, and much more. And let me help you get your virtual professionals, not assistants, because assistants can only assist you, but the virtual professional can give you that professional flavor that you need to expand your reach and increase your revenue. Jump on in and get in where you fit in and start bossing today. Hey, and welcome back to Night Show. I am super happy to have you here today. So come on in and get in where you fit in, because I've always got around my table for you, your friends in front of me. So go ahead, like, share, start a watch party, tell somebody that loves Shade Night is hot on the box. I'm going to encourage you and grab your notebook and grab your pen, because I always say no takers are money makers, and no takers are change makers. Angela LT, welcome to the show. Hey folks, good to see everybody tonight. Yes, and my pics, I'm kind of pixelating and I apologize for that. I don't know what's going on, but I do know this. This is about to be a great show. Our guest will be in the studio momentarily. Hello folks, y'all know every time it's about to go down, some powerful information coming out. I tell you, the king of the airways will just try to steal the show, but this is not going to happen tonight. No, it's not going to happen tonight. You know why? Because we're not going to let it happen. So come on in and get in where you fit in. Like, share, start a watch party, and run and tell somebody that Lotus Roche is hot on the box. And I'm going to have a phenomenal guest tonight. We're going to be talking about breaking the chains of financial lack. Really, it's predominantly pertaining to women, but this is for men too. Because after all, did you know that there is statistical data that we are not extremely literate when it comes to finances as women? Well, guess what? that doesn't mean that we cannot become literate. We can become literate and we can do better than we've ever done before. And so, as I said, tonight is called Breaking the Chains of Financial Lack. And until my guest comes back into the studio, I'm going to share this with you. According to the www.benefits.pro, there's a young lady, she wrote this article, and I'm going to take you right to that article. This young lady shared with us that there is a level of disparity between men and women. And according to Miss Christine Beckman, 89% of women received a failing grade compared with the 72% of men. A failing grade. And women under age 65, predominantly African women, African American women, and those with assets between 100,000 and 500,000 had lower retirement literacy scores than women overall, according to the study. Did you know that? If you knew that, go ahead and put a number 2 in the comment block below. Put a number 2 in the comment block below, because most people, they don't know that. And guess what? I didn't know it until I met my guest. And I found out about literacy. I found out about what people say. And you don't have to take it from me, because you know I always like to put some things here in front of you so that you can see it. This is an actual report from Benefits Pro. They also shared that women tended to score better than men on questions about health and long-term care, but scored notably lower on topics related to life insurance, investing, and strategies for generating retirement. And so if you want to find more information, here's where you can go. But another thing you can do is stay tuned to the show. You know why? Because we're going to talk to you tonight about the fact, and this is not something that we're making up, the fact that financial literacy is a must. It's a must. If you are not aware of financial literacy, you are doing yourself a disservice. And tonight on the show, Miss Tracy Oriyomi is going to share some things with us about this amazing topic. This is Tracy Oriyomi. She is an amazing speaker. She's a coach. She's a trainer, and she's a financial professional. And she'll be along here very shortly. So as we're preparing for her to come into the stage with us, I'd like you to take a moment and ask yourself, am I financially literate? Really be very candid and open with yourself. Are you financially literate? And this goes for everybody, both men and women. Ask yourself, are you financially literate? Ask yourself, do you know what financial literacy means? Because so many people are not aware of what financial literacy means. And tonight we're going to talk about it. We're going to use things like this that you see right in front of you. We're also going to have Tracy talk to you about some things that she's learned as a professional, as an expert in her field on finances and breaking the chains of financial lack. We're going to talk about that. Another question I want you to ask yourself is, if something happened today, like another pandemic, would I be prepared financially? Would I be prepared physically? Would I be prepared mentally and emotionally for whatever catastrophe hit as it relates to my finance? Ask yourself that. And then after you ask yourself that, if the answer is no, what question do you have about becoming more financially literate that you might want to share this evening? What question do you have about how can you bring more money into the picture? What question do you have about, well, how can I provide for my family and for myself? Because tonight, Miss Tracy is going to share some tips on all of those things and much, much more. So take a moment to really ask yourself that question, because I always say, come on in and get in where you fit in. Get in where you fit in. Why? Because if you can get in where you fit in, what's going to happen? You're going to have room to grow. You're going to have room to know. And get your notepad and pen. Why? Because I say note takers are money makers. And if you don't have a notepad, get an eyebrow pencil, get a mascara pencil, get a, I don't care, get your lipstick for all I care, but write these notes down. Because when you write these notes down, it's going to make a significant change in your life. And so with that being said, I would like to say to you, take this time to like, share, start a watch party, and run and tell somebody to come on in the house. And I know y'all saying, Lotus, you started, but you didn't tell us what's in your cup tonight. What are you sipping on? What's going on in your cup? Well, I'm going to go grab my cup and you grab yours too. Tonight, I'm sipping on some water. That's right. Woo! I love it, honey. So as you come on in, and we're waiting for our guest to come on with us, I want to share a couple of things with you that our guest actually shared with me that I didn't know before I actually met her. You know, she shared with me that about 75% of most women, when they divorce, 75% of most women have to get some type of assistance or social benefit after divorce. And 80% of women are more likely to be in poverty after retirement than men. Now, some of you may know that. And if you know that, put a 3 in the comment block below. Okay. And she also said that women over 50 are the fastest growing group of poverty. She told me that. This lady, her, that lady right there, Tracy Oriyomi, shared that with me. And so she's back. She's in the studio and she's going to share this with you. So I'm going to go back there. I'm going to get her and we're going to get this party started right. Go ahead, like, share, start a watch party and run and tell somebody, because we're about to get hot on the box and put Tracy Oriyomi in the hot seat as we talk about breaking the chains of financial lack. Be right back. You gotta run it. Hey, and welcome back to the Lotus Shade Night Show. I am super happy to have you here today. So come on in and get in where you fit in, because I've always got room right around my table for you, your friends, and your frenemies. So go ahead, like, share, start a watch party, run and tell somebody that Lotus Shade Nights is hot on the box. I'm going to encourage you, grab your notebook and grab your pen, because I always say note takers are money makers and note takers are change makers. You got me running. Shake it, baby. Raise your hands up. Raise them up. Hey there, Tracy. How are you doing? Woo,
I'm doing
woo!
outstanding, Lotus. How are you?
Hey, great. Good to see you. So listen, let's get right into it. I'm happy everything worked out good and your system started working well. Listen, I've got people already on their toes. I've talked a little bit about you, and I've told them that you are an amazing financial professional. You're a speaker, you're a trainer, and you are going to help us understand how to break the chains of financial lack tonight. And we're hot on the box. So let's get right into it. You know, I've talked about you a little bit, but I would say we need to hear more from you. So tell us more about you.
Well, thank you for that amazing introduction, Lotus. Dr. Lotus, thank you so very much. I am just so delighted to be here with you this evening, delighted to be on your show. You have inspired me so much with your energy and your passion, and I'm just so excited to be here. So, a little bit about me. I am Tracy Oriyomi, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Been in Atlanta for about 30 years now. And I teach women about money and how money works. I have been in the financial industry for the past 18 years, and I am just so passionate about women and money because we live longer than men and our money needs to last longer. And unfortunately, the financial education is not something that's taught in school. And I'm just so passionate about making sure that women have the information that they need in order to be able to break those chains and level up their finances.
All right, fantastic. So I'm about to come back in the screen with you as well. All right, so I told you she was going to be fired when she came on. I told y'all. So here she is. All right, so we've got a bunch of people already streaming in. We're going to get into a couple of the questions first. We don't want to delay them. Okay, so what inspired you other than, we got a great audience to be on the show, other than telling people about, especially women, about financial literacy? What else inspired you? Because like you said, you're a busy lady. You're a professional, you're a speaker, you're a trainer, you do all this stuff. Why else are you reaching out? Are you reaching out to another generation? What's going on with you? That's right, y'all. I'm putting her back in the hot seat.
Well, Lotus, one of the reasons that I'm reaching out is because April is Financial Literacy Month. And April is the month where we just really get even more fired up about financial literacy.
Exactly.
Because people need to know how money works. It's so important. And
exactly.
I'm inspired by my grandmother. My grandmother passed away a few years ago at the age of 95. She never made much money in her life, but she took care of what she did earn. Mm-hmm. She would always say, if you make $5, she only made $5 a week in her early life. She was born in 1920. Wow. She said, I only made $5 a week, and out of that $5, I saved $2. So she encouraged me to save. She would always say, spend some and save some. So we have to make sure that we're not just spending, but that we're also saving. It is just so vitally important.
Well, I love it. I once heard somebody say, a very, very smart person, it's not how much money you make, but how much money you keep, how hard it works for you. And I just want to share this with you all because this actually came from Robert Kiyosaki. Okay. How many generations you keep it for. And so your grandmother taught you something that has become generational, from your grandmother to your mother to you and to your children and other people that you love. See, he said you could make $1 million today, but if you squander it tomorrow, it really doesn't matter a whole lot that you made $1 million. And what do you think about that? Do you agree with that?
I totally agree with that, because just because you come from money doesn't mean you know how money works. It doesn't mean you know how to manage your money. I don't
Exactly.
know. I don't know if you're familiar with Barbara Stanny. She wrote a book called Prince Charming Isn't Coming. Her father was
Oh
the
wow.
aura in
Hmm.
H&R Block. She was a
Hmm.
daughter of one of the founders of H&R Block. Her father left her a trust fund with millions of dollars. At the age of 21, he said to her, "You will never have to work another day in your life. You're
Hmm.
set for life." She had no idea what to do with the money. She got
Wow.
married, and her husband went through the money and left her penniless. She would go to the ATM machine and it would be no money in the ATM machine. She said she went to withdraw $60 once and didn't have
Hmm.
$60 in there after all the money her father left her. So even though she came from money, she ended up being in a very awkward financial position. So you can come from money and not know how money works.
You said that right. And Barbara Stanny, right here, this I think is a picture of her. Right? Is that the right young lady?
That is her. That is her.
Okay. She wrote this article for Forbes, and I don't know why they got that guy up there, but Barbara Stanny wrote this article for Forbes, and she is the bee's knees when it comes to money and how to save and how to just do the all and be all. And she lost all her money, but she was able to bring herself back up by her bootstraps. So, of course, she has a story to tell, and so do you. And you started off telling that story about your grandmother and how she imparted her best thought process when it came to money about what you should do. She taught you probably your first lesson of financial literacy. And many
Absolutely.
people, they wonder, what is financial literacy and what does it mean to be financially literate? So can you share that with us?
Financial literacy is knowing how money works. It's the ability to apply that knowledge of how money works to your basic, to your household finances. You know, we know how to make money, we know how to spend money, but a lot of times we don't know what to do with it beyond that. So it's having
Yes.
the knowledge of basic personal finance so that you
Awesome.
can put yourself in a better financial position. You know,
Awesome.
the funny thing, Lotus, is, money isn't taught in school. A financial education is not taught in
Yep.
school. You
Yep.
know, we're taught sex education, but we're not taught financial education and financial literacy. And I say the one thing that we can figure out on our own, they teach us, and the one thing that we can't figure out, they don't teach. So,
Exactly.
financial literacy is so very important.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. You told me that before, and when you said that, I was like, wow, that does not make sense. We are teaching people everything under the sun, but knowing how money works is not one of them. Okay? And it's very sad that knowing how our money works is not taught in school. Okay? And so we fail at recognizing financial literacy because at the core, no one teaches us that. No one teaches us how to be successful. But tonight, let's give us some energy, y'all. Woo woo! But tonight, that's what I'm saying. We're about to turn the corner on this. So you shared with us what financial literacy is. So let's talk more about where do we as women fall as it relates to financial literacy. I shared some nuggets with people before you came on, and I told them if they had some questions to make sure they got those questions ready for you. But can you share that with us?
Absolutely, Lotus. Unfortunately, men and women are just not confident about
Mm-hmm,
their finances. They're not confident
mm-hmm,
in terms of putting money away for retirement. They're not able
right.
to. 80%
Mm-hmm,
of us are living paycheck to paycheck. So unfortunately, women are just not confident and not comfortable talking about their finances. Lotus, do you know that women would rather talk about death than their finances?
Yep.
And we need to start talking. We need to start having conversations, because 75% of women have to get some type of social benefit after a
Yep.
divorce.
Yep. That's the truth.
And 80% of women are more likely to be in poverty after retirement than men.
Yep.
One
And
out of four,
mhm.
I'm sorry, one
No,
out of
no, no,
four,
go ahead.
one out of four women, one out of four Lotus are broke after 2 months, within 2 months of getting a divorce.
Yep. Yep. That's the
You
truth.
know, and women over 50 are the fastest growing group of women in poverty. Women over 50. And I just
So
find that unacceptable.
I'm wondering, why is that? Why is that the case? 75% of women have to get some type of social benefit after divorce. 80% of women are more likely to be in poverty after retirement than men. Women over 50 are the fastest growing group in poverty. Why is that?
Well, Lotus, one thing is women as a whole, on average, make 82 cents to every dollar that a man earns.
Mm-hmm.
The median income for a woman is the median income for a man is $50,000. The median income for a woman is $40,000. So we're already $10,000 behind right out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wow.
not only that, money just isn't talked about. It's not talked about. My parents didn't talk about money growing up.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something that we just don't talk about.
So I'm going to share something with you because you really made me do critical thinking. I've got a master's degree as well. I've got an MBA, and
You
never
know what MBA
once.
stands for, Lotus? You know what
Uh-oh,
MBA
y'all.
stands
Uh-oh,
for,
y'all.
right?
She put me in the hot seat. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You got a massive bank account. That's what
Yes.
MBA stands for, a massive bank account.
Well, I take that. I appreciate that. Thank you, Lord, for the blessing. So, but they never taught me about financial literacy for myself. They never taught me that. And so you made me do some critical thinking, and I looked up some articles. I was like, why is this not being taught in school? And there's a young lady, she writes an article. She's actually the president of Synergy Financial. It's a private financing planning firm. And Cindy talks about the fact that people just don't talk about it anymore. People are intimidated. And she gave 5 reasons why they're not. 5 reasons why financial literacy is not taught in schools. Now, see, Tracy's not just saying this. You can see that it's not taught. Okay. One of the reasons is climbing the corporate ladder is no longer attainable. So it's like, a well-paying position. They think that you should just get in that position and you'll be okay. You don't need to know about money. And then the number 2 says no one knows how to teach financial literacy anymore in the schools. Why? Because maybe they're not requiring it. Why do you think that people don't even know how to teach it anymore in the schools?
That's a great question, Lotus. I don't know. The thing that bothers me is I don't understand why they're not providing funding for financial literacy. They're providing funding for STEM. They're providing funding for STEAM programs.
Mm-hmm.
They're providing funding for everything but financial literacy.
And then her third one says that families lack critical education. As in the case with most life skills, the best education starts at home. Unfortunately, Cindy says, states parents leading households are sometimes confused as to where to begin teaching financial literacy to their children and are often struggling to frame the topic in a child-friendly way. But you know why I think one of these reasons is because they haven't been taught either. And a lot of people don't know unless they have a grandmother like you and a great grandmother like me who said, hey, you need to save, and this is one way you do it. And then number 4, she says, a vested interest. Some say that, there's no more sinister reason as to why education and financial literacy is lacking. See, this is what I believe. If you keep people ignorant about how to handle money, if you don't break the chains, and by the way, I love your logo too, how you break the chains of financial literacy. If you don't allow people, if you don't help people arm themselves with that type of knowledge, guess what? They're not going to know it unless somebody like your grandmother drops the dime and say, hey, baby, let me tell you, I saved $2 out of my every 5, right? and Tracy, you shared this with me when we talked privately. And then the last one is it's intimidating. A lot of people don't like to talk about it because sometimes the financial jargon that they're shared, it's kind of confusing. But today, you're here to make it plain and simple. So let's talk about how do people really get financially literate? Because that's something that you specialize in. You help people become financially literate.
Well, you know what, Lotus? I highly recommend. That's a great question, and I recommend that you make sure that you educate yourself. Read something every day on financial literacy. Subscribe to financial newsletters, financial blogs. Subscribe to podcasts that talk about money and finance.
I love it. So she's giving you some tips, folks. I always say no takers are money makers. So subscribe to some financial newsletters. Listen to financial blogs, because people who are in the money game, they're going to tell you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Lotus, there are 2 things that people don't want to talk about. You know what those 2 things are?
Money
and sex.
Money and sex.
The 2 things that people don't want to talk about, and the 2 things that everybody wants, right? Everybody wants money. Everybody
wants sex.
Those
Got that right.
They don't want to talk about. But Lotus, how can we expect people to make complex money decisions without an education?
They can't. They really can't. And that's the thing.
And if we're going to make sure that everybody in this country has food to eat and a roof over their heads, we have to teach them about money.
Amen. I concur with that. So I know that you are doing a lot when it comes to teaching people about money. You're even on Clubhouse talking to people. You're pulling the cat out of the bag, and you're just saying, come on and let's talk about money. After all, you said April is the financial literacy month. And on Clubhouse, you've got yourself, Carmen Bernard, you've got Jana Woodhouse, you've got Lori Johnson, and you've got Miss Toy. You all are saying, come on, let's talk about money. And you're one of the moderators. You're one of the people that's leading the way in this room. And when I first saw that, I was like, wow, you guys are talking about a plethora of things. So you're talking about your relationship with money. So you're going to be teaching people how to have a positive relationship with money?
Absolutely, because a lot of us were taught growing up that money is the root of all evil.
Right.
Well, if money is the root of all evil, why are we going out every day to get that evil stuff?
If y'all like what she just said, put a number 4 in the comment block. Put number 4 in the comment block. And then you're going to talk about how money works. Why is that so important? Well, wait, let me back up. I'm gonna ask this, then we're gonna go to a quick break and we're gonna come back.
Okay.
And then we'll acknowledge our guests who've been so amazing. But here's what I want to ask. Why is the relationship with money cognitively so important to how we behave with our money? So I'm gonna say it again. Why is it so important to understand our relationship with money and dare I say have a good relationship with money in relationship to our cognition? And so having said that, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to be right back. So hold tight because everything is dynamite. You ready? Oh yeah, she's here. The financial genius, Tracy Oriyomi. She's our financial literacy consultant. You came at the right time as we discuss breaking the chains of financial lack. Only here at Night Show. We got it. Come on, y'all. Put some L's in the comment and give Tracy some love. Welcome to the show.
Having trouble hearing you. Can't hear you.
Oh, let me see. You can't hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
All right, fantastic. So we're going to see who we have in the house now. All right, let's go. I got the first one. Angela Elting from Washington, D.C. Always happy to have you. And of course, I'm in the house. Welcome to the show, everybody. And who else do we have, Tracy?
Patricia Rogers in the house.
All right, yes. And Patricia was on early. She said, all right now, thank you for posting the video commercial. Love it, Lotus. Well, I love you right back. Mwah! And who else do we have in the house, Tracy?
Hillary Gooden from Chicago.
Whoop, whoop. Oh, and who is this? We have Shirley Murphy, all the way from Nigeria, Africa. Who else we got, Tracy?
Oh, wow. Camille Robb from Florida. Hello, Camille.
Yes, and the visibility strategist herself said, wow, some unbelievable statistics. Yes, I'm telling you, those numbers are not lying. That's right. And we have Sam here from Philippines. Hey there, Sam, good to see you. Right. And she said, great introduction, Patricia Rogers. And Shirley Patterson, all the way from where? Patterson, New Jersey. And there's a comment, Tracy, you want to take that?
Amazing. Women live longer than men. Our money should live longer too. Sure. From Shirley Murphy. That's right, Shirley.
That's right. And we have who in the house? Tracy, who else is in the house?
Michael Freeland. Yes. How money works. Love it.
Yes. And he said keys to financial gain, learning how it works. All right. So we got a question for you from the fabulous Camille Robb. She says, what happened in your life that made you decided to do what you are currently doing?
Oh, that's a great question, Camille Robb. Well, I've always been interested in money. In my previous career, I was an IT professional. I worked for a major corporation in Atlanta in IT for 11 years. And that company went through a major reorganization. They laid off over 300 people. And I was one of the 300 people that got laid off. I got a great severance package. So it was a perfect time for me to switch gears. So I ended up switching gears, getting my credentials, getting licensed so that I could learn about money. It had always been in the back of my mind because of my grandmother. My grandmother taught me so much. She was widowed at a very young age and left with 3 small children. Her house burned down 3 months before Christmas. Her son drowned, my uncle, who I never met. She had so much tragedy in her life, but she was very astute when it came to her money. She always managed to save money. And that was just that had such an impression on me. So I wanted to be in a position to help women with their money.
Awesome. That's a great question. And guess what Tracy's favorite song is, folks? That's my girl, Shaka Khan. And guess what? You can do it. You can do it. It's all in you. It's all in you. So thanks, Camille, for that question. And Michael Freeland said, Dr. Michael Freeland said, having the knowledge of basic personal finance. Love it. And what did Shirley say?
Shirley said financial literacy is not taught in school.
And,
that's right.
And Pat said, turn up.
Turn it up.
Turn up. All right, that's Shaka Khan. And Camille said, yes, they are broke because they depend on men. Hot seat. Yes, hot seat. So that's thank right. you, Shirley. She said, Shirley Patterson from Patterson, New Jersey said, great topic. And we're so happy to have all of you here. Gosh, we just love all of you. Thank you for all of your fours and all the love. See, I asked them to send some love in here to you. They made sure they sent some love to Tracy. So, Tracy, let's get right back into it. We were talking about the fact that coming up on the 9th, you are going to be in Clubhouse, a premier platform right now for folks who are working together from all over the world. And you are going to be with a group of phenomenal young ladies talking about Let's Talk Money. And not only are you going to be there the 9th, you're going to be there the 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th. Like, you guys are relentless, or you ladies are relentless. Y'all not giving up. So when I asked you earlier, why is it so important for people to have that positive relationship with money in relationship to how they behave with money and their cognitive processing? Why is that so important?
It is important because God wants us to be prosperous. It's biblical. It's biblical.
Wow.
There's a scripture in the Bible that says that God wants us to prosper and be in health.
Yes.
And it also says money answereth all things.
Yes.
Did you know that was in the Bible that says money answereth all things? If your car breaks down, what do you need, Lotus?
I need that bread.
If your refrigerator breaks down, what do you need?
I need that bread.
If you have a medical emergency, what do you need?
I need dead presidents.
That's right. Money answereth all things.
Yes, so it does.
It's so very important, you know, and it is one of those things that we all have to have. You know, you have to pay your rent, you have to pay your mortgage, you have to pay expenses. So it's very important. And you know, a lot of people were taught rich people are evil, money is evil. It's your relationship with money. Money is not evil. You know, it's your relationship with money. So it's something that God wants us to have and wants us to prosper. And it's something that, you know, we all need. We can't survive without it.
Amen. And so, look, we got a comment from Camille. She said, my grandmother was the same way. She taught me about money and said, always have 5 streams of income coming in your bank account. And not only bank account, my great grandmother told me, never put all your money in the bank. And you know what led me to know that she was right? Now, my great grandmother, she died at the age of 103. And I was a little girl when she said that to me. And you know, she was like this short. She was like 4'0". And I was a little kid then, and I was looking up at her, and she looked down with her piercing eyes. And Selena Taylor, that's right. She told me that, and I never forgot it. And I remember about a year or two ago, when the banks, many of the banks had closed down. People couldn't go to the banks. And even in the pandemic, we had to kind of stay away. People couldn't get to their money in some cases, and they were very frightened.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have, my grandmother said, always have some money where you can put your hand on it, like that, where you can put your hand on it. So it makes sense, Camille. It makes sense. And she said her grandmother always had money in the house as well. So that's because of her relationship with money. And I would imagine she believed that she deserved to have money at all times, not just when somebody give her a paycheck or when the bank say you can come and get your money. So you're going to talk about how money works. You're also going to talk about money hacks for creating generational wealth. Why is creating money hacks for generational wealth super important?
It's super important because we're supposed to leave an inheritance to our children, to our children's children, and to create that generational wealth, there are so many different strategies that you can use to do that.
Right.
So that's something that everyone should consider, leaving money to your children's children.
Wow.
And financial literacy is, it's a core life skill that many of us don't have. It's a core life skill. We need it so that we're not taken advantage of.
Exactly.
If you don't know how money works, you're gonna, chances are, be taken advantage of. You might be in the wrong type of mortgage. You might have the wrong type of credit card.
Yep.
So yes, it's important that we leave that generational wealth.
And so you talked about leaving money behind, but the other powerful thing that you're going to be talking about is how to protect the money that you have, protecting income. So why is that so critical to protect one's income?
It's critical because you don't want it to be eaten up by taxes. You want to make sure that your money is in a tax efficient place so that it doesn't all go to Uncle Sam.
Exactly right. Exactly. Y'all, come on, y'all. Clap it up for her. Give her a 5. Give her a 5 and a high five. Come on, Tracy, give me a high five. That's right. You don't want all your money eaten up by somebody else that didn't even help you earn 1 10 dime. So let's talk about eliminating debt, because a lot of people are getting stimulus checks and all this, and they're going out buying cars, they're buying shoes and all these other things. And while they are nice, they can't eat them. And they're creating more debt. So why is it so important, especially in the now time, to eliminate debt?
It's important that we eliminate debt, Lotus, because that's not something, we want to make sure that we can live comfortably. Oftentimes, we're wanting to keep up with the Joneses and we're getting into debt. And it's a huge problem. Credit card debt is at an all-time high. Last year, over $330 billion was spent on credit card late fees alone.
Wow.
So you're eating into your wealth by getting into debt.
Yes.
And you don't want to eat into your wealth.
Right. That's awesome. And the last thing you guys are going to talk about in that, oh, wow. It's just so powerful what you guys are doing. You're going to talk about creating legacy. And see, y'all notice she telling us why, right? I got her telling us why she in the hot seat. But you going to have to be there to get more golden nuggets. They going, like I say, sop it up with a biscuit. When y'all go into that place, when y'all go into the clubhouse and listen to these powerful ladies, you better take your biscuit and tell them I sent you, so you can sop it up with a biscuit, because you want to hold on to it. So why is creating legacy so important?
Well, again, Lotus, as I mentioned earlier, it's important because, number one, it's biblical that we leave something to our children. and our children's children.
Wow.
That's biblical,
Yep.
you know. And we want to give our children a head start in life. We want to give our
Yep.
grandchildren a head start. We don't want them to start from zero. We want to give them a leg up.
Yep. You don't want them to start from zero. You want to make sure that you are the superhero, because if you're not the superhero in their life, somebody or something else will be. And
Absolutely.
yes.
Have you
And
heard of the $1 Million Baby, Lotus?
I have not. Tell me about it.
The $1 Million Baby. So when a child is born, if a parent or grandparent puts away $2,500 when a child is born, and if they add $250 a month for 4 years, by the time that child is 67 years old at retirement age, that child will have well over $1 million. Well over $1
Wow.
million.
Wow. And so is this something that you teach people like in workshops as well? Because I didn't know that. But if you do
Absolutely.
the math, that's good stuff.
That's
Like my
good
friend
stuff.
Tandra says, that's good juice. That's good juice right there. Right? So
Absolutely.
here's the question. Once you do this, how can I invite people to come in and be a part of the Let's Talk Money Clubhouse? How is that going to work?
Oh,
How
absolutely.
can
Yeah,
I?
to join Clubhouse, you have to have an iPhone right now.
Right.
An iPhone or an iPad. So
Right.
yeah, you just come into the room at 7:30 Eastern time,
Okay.
and we'll be on
Fantastic.
for about an hour and a half, and we will be talking about money and all manners of money.
Yes, and not just the stuff that we see on the flyer. You got to really get inside, folks, and get the golden nuggets, get the juice, the secret sauce that you want to use your biscuit to sop it up with, because these powerful ladies are going to give you something that you will not want to leave behind. And so make sure you jump in there April 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th. If you can't go to all of the days, what should they do?
Just pick a date. Just pick a date. They have
All
4
right.
dates to pick from, so just pick one, that suits them.
Awesome. So Angie said we should be focusing on legacy building. I agree. And she also said we need to learn more mindful financial strategies. And that is unequivocal. And I would love to have you come back at a later date where we can talk about the impact after you have your Let's Talk. I want you to come back and talk about it, because you guys are about to change some lives for the better. You're about to change some lives for the better. And so with that being said, I want to know what's next for you. Do you have any other like webinars, any other events where you're going to be speaking?
Well, right now it's Clubhouse. That's what I'm focusing on right now for Financial Literacy Month. And
All
then
right.
after Financial Literacy Month, I will be hosting weekly webinars.
All right. And so that was my question. How can people connect with you? So, of course, you all can go to her page. You can go to her page. You can hit me up. You can hit her up and say, hey, I need that link because I need to get in there. You can go to her page right on Facebook. You can connect with her. Be her friend. Be her friend. And I'm telling you, you will reap great benefits. Go right to her Facebook page and check her out. And so, with that being said, is there any other ways that you would like people to connect with you other than on Facebook and Clubhouse tomorrow?
They can connect with me at howmoneyworks.com/Tracy Oriyomi. howmoneyworks.com/Tracy Oriyomi. And Lotus, I
All
just
right.
want to say, financial illiteracy is the number one economic crisis in the world. It's considered an economic crisis.
Well, I believe you. So let me ask all of you this. Did you know that it is an economic crisis? Did you know that? If you knew that, put a number 6 in the comment block. Put a number 6 in the comment block. Because the average person, I don't think we know that. I don't think that we're aware that this is like a pandemic. You know, this is like something that's not going to go away no time soon. So make sure you check Tracy out. You can go here to How Money Works. Check her out there. And don't forget to get the book, How Money Works. Stop being a sucker. Okay.
That's right. Stop being a sucker, because if you don't know how money works, you end up being a sucker to those that do. And many times you're taken advantage of.
Yep. So make sure you do that. So what's next for you, Tracy? What's next for you? What else you got coming up?
Well, other than, like I said, for Financial Literacy Month, we've got the Clubhouse rooms that we're doing this month. I have an ebook that I'm working on.
All right.
That'll be coming out in May. So I'm working on my ebook. And I'm just spreading the word about financial literacy. You know, a lot of us are committing what I call financial fornication. Because we are charging things that we don't need. We're overextending ourselves in credit card debt. And we need to work on financial abstinence.
Exactly. Wow. You put it down. Financial abstinence. That means don't go out spending money that you don't need to spend. Circulate. If you're going to send money out, circulate it so that you get an ROI, so that it's benefiting you and your cause in some shape, form, or fashion. That's some powerful juju right there. Ebook coming out.
I'm sorry. And I just want to say this. I just want to say this because nearly half of Americans don't have $400 for emergency.
Yep,
we have to make sure that we have our, what I like to call sleep at night money. You want to make sure you have money set aside so that you can sleep comfortably at night if something happens. If you have an emergency, if it rains, because you need your rainy day fund because it will rain. It will rain. Make sure you have your rainy day fund, your sleep at night money.
So you can remember when you told me that. I was like, excuse me, what'd you say? She said, it's sleep at night money, Lotus. I said, what is sleep at night money? It's the money so I don't have to worry. She said, that's right. So you can sleep at night. You got to have your sleep at night money. So with that being said, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're a little past the hour, but we're going to come back. And if you have any questions, I'll tell you what, if you have any questions that you want to ask her, you're going to have 30 seconds to get your questions in. 30 seconds or almost a minute to get your questions in. Hillary said, abstinence, save your finances, sleep at night money.
That's right. That's right.
And Camille said, mine is called Hush Your Mouth Money.
I like that.
Oh my God. Angie says she loves sleep at night money. All right. So look, folks, we'll be right back. If you have any questions that you want to ask before the end of the broadcast, here's the person that you need to ask, because she has come and shared some wonderful golden nuggets about breaking the chains of financial literacy. And she's shared breaking the chains of financial lack. It really all starts in what we know, what we embrace, and what we exercise in our lives every day to break those chains. We'll be right back. You ready? Hey, y'all. She's here. Dr. Lotus Lachey. She's got a phenomenal guest, Tracy Oriyomi, financial literacy consultant. Tracy Oriyomi is the lady, and she said what?
Camille said, I am going to get that book.
Awesome
Yay.
awesome. And so what's going to happen right now, so you can grab that book, I'm going to put that in the comments right here, so you can go ahead and grab it yourself. Go ahead and grab that. And what did Angie say, Tracy?
Angie said, every person needs to take financial literacy classes for every milestone in our life: marriage, birth, children, higher education, retirement, death, etc. Wow, that is so true, Angie. Financial literacy is a lifelong process. It doesn't stop. It's a lifelong process.
Amen. And Camille said what?
Camille said, this is some good information. Thank you. Thank you, Camille.
And you know what I like that you shared, and I think it's really important as well, Tracy, because it is a lifelong process. It's nothing that it starts today and it stops tomorrow. It just don't stop. We have to keep doing it. So please, folks, go ahead and look in the comment block. You'll see how money works. You can go ahead and grab that and get your book today and start learning more about financial literacy and how you can continue to break the chains of financial lack. And also, don't hesitate to reach out to Miss Tracy Oriyomi. Why? Because she can help you on your journey. And so with that said, I'm going to slide over. So Tracy, you can have your final words of wisdom for the broadcast tonight, because you have come and you have set the platform on fire. You have shared some things with us that many of us were not privy to. And some of the things we were privy to, you added that other seasoned salt to it so that we illuminated, wait a minute, there's more. So please have your final words of wisdom.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Lotus. It's been awesome being on your show this evening. One thing I want to say is make sure that you pay yourself first. Pay yourself first, because we pay everybody else and pay ourselves last. Pay yourself first. Whatever you're making per hour, that's what you should be saving per day. So if you make $10 an hour, you should be saving $10 a day. If you make $20 an hour, you should be saving $20 per day. Pay yourself first. And it's never too late to start saving money. It's never too late. So start today. Because guess what? I'm talking to my ladies right now. Ladies, we're very good at planning parties. We're very good at, planning, different types of events. But guess what is going to be our biggest event? Retirement. So we got to make sure that we're putting money away for our retirement. It is so critical and so key. Start
Awesome,
today.
awesome. Wow. Told y'all she was going to rock the mic. Well, my final words of wisdom are these. Always remember to ignite and take flight in the financial area of your life and break the chains of financial lack. And like my wonderful guest said, it's never too late to start. It's never too late to start. Pay yourself first and make sure you get her ebook that's coming out in May. You'll be happy you did. And so, Tracy, thank you so much for being on the show. Let's give our viewers some energy. Woo, woo! And until we see you again, make sure you check Tracy out in Clubhouse. Make sure you go over to her Facebook, check her out, be her friend, and just get in where you fit in with Tracy, because she's going to help you break those chains of financial lack. So with that being said, we'll see you next time. And don't forget to join me on Friday for more news you could use with my amazing guest, who? Miss Hillary Gooden, the queen of the lymphatic bounce. The lymphologist.
Thank you so much, Lotus. Thank you so
You
much.
are so
God bless
welcome.
you. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed being on your platform this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And if y'all enjoyed Tracy, go ahead and put some ones in there to let her know she's number one. So we thank you, we appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Well, we did it, y'all. We had Tracy Oriyomi on the show